So talk about economics, and there's some other questions we'll get to here. So we're going to go through this a little bit quickly, but the slides will be available. This will be a recording that is posted. That was one of the questions. So you can go back and cherry pick content out of this that may have resonated that you want to dive deeper on. But a modern, hybrid cloud platform is as represented by FlexPod, it will give you better performance and cooling, the TCO elements. Consolidation. I think when you look at the world that the market is in and heading into, many customers would sweat assets for longer depreciation cycles. But when you factor in the cost of ownership over time, the ESG elements for some people, you actually want to be refreshing more consistently and regularly to keep your consolidation ratios higher, the amount of watts per workload, improving. And so you see that FlexPod definitely has the impact, especially with the good news is, and if you've been around Cisco for a long time, right, the 6509 chassis, how many generations of modules and adapters and cards did it go through before it went away? That same design thinking is part of FlexPod and the UCS platform. It's part of NetApp's design philosophy in terms of being able to non-disruptively upgrade over time to newer and newer hardware and software, and to be able to do that. So, those elements become critical when you start thinking about staying current and getting the most value for the least footprint. Next slide. On the NetApp side, this was, I think, an April announcement, but QLC Capacity Optimized Flash. This is important because for many, many years, and the storage industry is like every other, innovation happens and then it becomes more and more adopted over time. And so we're at the point now where QLC Flash is a type of storage media that is very well suited to a large number of workloads. And the impact is significant in your data center or colo in that. Next slide. What might have been, 2 racks worth of equipment with spinning media, 10K SAS, NL SAS, SATA disks, you can get a petabyte and a half of effective capacity in a C250 is being shown here for 1/6 the power and cooling and 1/20th the physical footprint. Now, the question came in, do we recommend cloud adjacent, meaning like an Equinix with, high-speed cross connect into the cloud providers? Well, I would recommend it, but again, what's the requirement? If you have data governance, data control, depending on geography, that is a common way of keeping your data out of the cloud while still leveraging the resources in the cloud. And that is an architecture that we see more and more people considering as they look at a multi-cloud model, moving data other than for DR, backup, archiving, doesn't always have business value. So if I don't have to move my data to still take advantage of cloud-based services, that might be a viable architecture. And it's something we would want to discuss. Next slide. Okay, so Dan mentioned the 4 generations of currently supported UCS. UCS M4, last day of support is February of next year. The last day of availability, orderability, and that end of life set of dates has been announced for UCS M5. So if you're an existing Cisco UCS customer, those dates are important to you. And with the consolidation ratios, the less power, and the improved scale, and moving to the new UCS platform, there is benefit there that we would love to talk to you about. Next.